4,500, 9,950 and 9,950. I was absolutely gutted, that's the word. I can't believe that there are people in the world that would do this sort of thing.
They're just horrible, horrible, horrible people.
Moren is 86 years old. She reads her bank balance from a printed passbook. This is not a failure to adapt. It is a preference for tangibility, for the physical confirmation of numbers on paper, for a banking relationship that existed before screens became the primary interface. She has managed her finances this way for decades. The system worked for her. The $25,000 she lost was not abstract wealth. It was purpose-specific. She had saved it to take her family on a cruise. The money represented not just financial security, but a future experience, a gathering of people she loves, a trip she had planned and anticipated. When the scammers took that money, they did not simply reduce a number in an account. They erased a family event that existed in her imagination as something already real. The extraction happened in 3 transactions: $4,500, $9,950, $9,950. The amounts are precise. They were likely calibrated to avoid triggering automatic fraud detection thresholds while still maximizing the take. The scammers understood the technical parameters of the banking system they were exploiting. They structured the theft accordingly. What makes this case distinctive is the chain of vulnerability. The scam did not begin with Moren. It began with her daughter Joanne, who clicked on a fraudulent Medicare text message weeks earlier. That single click initiated a cascade. Personal information was harvested. The relationship between mother and daughter was identified. The fact that Joanne controlled Moren's accounts was discovered. The scammers did their homework. They understood the family structure before they made their move. This delay is structurally important. The gap between the initial data breach and the eventual theft created a false sense of security. Joanne clicked the link, felt uneasy, and then nothing happened. Weeks passed. The immediate danger seemed to have been avoided. But the criminals were not finished. They were researching. They were waiting. They were identifying the optimal moment to extract maximum value from the information they had collected.
It all started when hackers sent Maureen's daughter Joanne a text message.
I got a text message from Medicare saying that somebody close to me has got coronavirus and that I was to click onto this link to get a kit sent out to me. And I clicked onto that link. I thought, oh, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done this. There was a doubt in my mind.
Joanne says she clicked on the link because her colleague had just caught the virus.
Put on my name, phone number, and all my details and my credit card details for this kit to come, which never arrived.
Weeks later, cybercriminals had done their homework.
Hello?
Confirmed Joanne controlled Maureen's bank accounts and pounced on the trusting family.
That is correct. Got a phone call from this man named Simon saying that we have been scammed and that he was going to transfer the money into an account with a brand new BSB number and a brand new account number.
So-called Simon convinced Joanne he was there to help secure her mother's money.
But I was marching up and down here saying, Joanne, this isn't right, this is not right, there's something wrong. But Joanne said all the particulars were in place.
Suddenly, Maureen had just $300 to her name.
I thought, how the heck am I going to pay my bills? So I thought, oh, I'll have to go begging, go with my bill in my hand and say, look, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you for extra time, which I've never had to do that in my whole life, never.
It's so easy for them to do it. It's just scary how they can do it.
The scammer called himself Simon. He did not ask for money. He offered protection. He told Joanne that her mother had been scammed, that the accounts were compromised, that the funds needed to be moved immediately to a new account with a new BSB number for their safety. The framing was not extraction. It was rescue. This technique inverts the victim's protective instincts. Joanne was not giving money to a stranger. She was securing her mother's savings from criminals. Every action she took felt like the responsible choice. The urgency was justified by the threat. The new account numbers were provided by someone who claimed to represent the bank. The particulars, as Joanne described them, were in place. Moren sensed something wrong. She marched up and down the room. She told her daughter this was not right. But the scammer's performance had already established credibility with Joanne, and Joanne controlled the accounts. The mother's instinct was overridden by the daughter's confidence in the verification she believed she had received. This is how trust networks are exploited. The scammers did not need to convince Moren directly. They needed to convince the person Moren trusted to manage her finances. By targeting Joanne, they bypassed the skepticism that Moren might have applied if approached herself. The family structure that was meant to protect the elderly mother became the vector through which her savings were extracted. $300 remained. For an 86-year-old woman who had never asked anyone for extra time on a bill, the prospect of begging was not simply financial distress. It was identity disruption. A lifetime of self-sufficiency, of paying obligations on time, of maintaining independence was suddenly in question. The scammers took more than money. They took the narrative Moren had built about who she was. The cybersecurity experts' assessment is blunt. They have identified you as an easy target. It is not just possible, but almost guaranteed that they will try again. The data harvested from Joanne's initial click remains in circulation. The family's vulnerability has been demonstrated. In the economy of fraud, a proven victim is a valuable commodity.
It was too late. We had lost the money.
If they had the audacity to invade my privacy and take all my money.
We've entered a new Wild West in regards to cyber attacks, where they can get away with this. And you've got to be on your edge and aware and ready. And we've reached this point where now
Martin gives them tips to better protect themselves online.
And the human brain is not designed for remembering passwords.
Starting with having a password manager.
So with that password manager, you can then have random passwords that are different for every single login.
And multi-factor authentication.
What that does is you've got your password that you use to log in, but it uses something else, which could be a token or an SMS to your phone, it could be a token to your email. And what that means is, from a cyber attacker's perspective, it makes it a lot harder, because for them to log in, they need to get your password as well as that token.
Perhaps the biggest lesson to learn from Martin.
And now they've identified you as, in short, an easy target. And so you'll continue to get more SMSs and messages and even emails and even in the mail.
Is it possible that these people will have another go and try to get more from my account?
It's not just possible, it's almost guaranteed.
So how can we stop this from happening again?
The first is, unfortunately, you have to assume everything is suspicious.
How do we know you're genuine?
That's a great question. What you need to do is check and double check, and in some cases you need to kind of hold off and delay doing things. It is really good to have a support network or support people you can go to check and ask and verify these.
Moren's bank refunded her money. This outcome is unusual. Most victims of scams like this do not recover their funds. The transfers are authorized by family members who believe they are acting protectively. The money moves to accounts controlled by criminals and disappears into international networks within hours. That Moren received her $25,000 back represents an institutional decision that could have gone the other way. She is rebooking the cruise. The family gathering she had imagined, the one that was erased when her account dropped to $300, may still occur. This is recovery in the most tangible sense, not just money returned, but a future restored. But the lesson she articulates is not optimistic. Don't trust anybody. This is the residue of victimization. An 86-year-old woman who reads her bank balance from a printed passbook, who managed her finances independently for decades, who never asked for extra time on a bill, has now learned that assumption of goodwill is dangerous. Every interaction must be treated as potentially fraudulent. Every call could be Simon. She asks how they sleep at night. Someone told her the answer. Quite easily, they have no conscience. This explanation is probably accurate. The people who stole from Moren operate at scale, across thousands of victims, with scripts refined for maximum extraction. She is a data point in their operation, not a person. Her cruise, her family, her 86 years of self-sufficiency, none of it registers in the transaction. She wanted to say something else to the hackers. the television would not allow it. But the impulse itself, the desire to speak directly to the people who violated her, is its own kind of testimony. She cannot understand them. She does not want to. She just wants them to know what she thinks. The passbook still prints her balance. The numbers are restored. The conscience of the criminals remains, as someone observed, quite comfortable.
What's your one piece of advice from your experience?
Don't be an idiot.
Don't trust anybody.
Don't trust anyone.
And as for the hackers,
Now, Dimity, I'm not allowed to swear on TV. You know that. What do I think of them? I can't understand them. I cannot understand them. I keep saying, how do they sleep at night? Somebody said to me, quite easily, they have no conscience.
Things. It's like a Google search engine for data breaches.
Have I Been Pwned is a website where you enter your email or phone number to search if and when your personal information has been caught up in a data breach. Troy Hunt created the concept in 2013.
I thought at the time, look, I sort of live in this world. If I didn't know about this, I wonder how many other people are out there that just don't know that they've been exposed in a breach.